wish that it could be a merry little Christmas for one and all. And when I hear choirs on the street, so full of Christmas cheer, I pray this is the start of all our dreams. So if Santa, you're listening, please can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please can you bring love enough for the world? Bells, they will be ringing, every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells, they will be ringing, and every heart just singing. All over the world. I see snow begin to fall, I wish that it could be a merry little Christmas for one and all. And when I hear choirs on the street, so full of Christmas cheer, I pray this is the start of all our dreams. So if Santa, you're listening, please can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please can you bring love enough for the world? Bells, they will be ringing, every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells, they will be ringing, and every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells they will be ringing, and every heart just singing all over the world.
Check. I had my mic muted. I'm so sorry. We are back on the ATEM Mini Extreme, and we're changing the glasses to the Batcave glasses so I can see you better. Welcome to the live stream. I am so sorry. Let's hit record. I don't have a clue what just happened, but I have audio, so thank you so much for joining me. Let's put the other glasses away so they don't get injured during tonight's live stream. Well, we have lots of things happening tonight. I am not streaming on the ATEM or on the Rodecaster video tonight. I am streaming from the ATEM Mini Extreme, and I had things hooked into the Rodecaster video, but I wanted to end 2025 with Blackmagic Designs ATEM Extreme. So that's the audio you're hearing me. It's going from my microphone into my Rodecaster Pro 2, and from the Rodecaster Pro 2, it's going into mic channel 1. In the ATEM Extreme, and I've played with the audio. It should sound a little better tonight, but let me know if everything sounds good in the chat. The audio levels look good. They could be a tiny bit hotter, but I think that's hot enough tonight. Let me know if the audio is 5x5. I see a lot of people in the chat. We're going to say hi here in just a second. I've got to fix my chat because, as you guys saw, I was doing the Skycam tonight, so I can put Skycam back on. It's just going to be, let's see, chat on. It's just going to be this little box, and so I could take you around the studio set using that box, and obviously I just sized it to get it this size, and that is using a camera really right over here over my right shoulder, and that lets you go around the studio, see the TV, all my Christmas decorations around the studio, and here we are in the Bat Cave, or more commonly known the North Pole during this time of the year. So let's turn chat on the air, and Grish was here first tonight, so welcome, Grish. Hopefully you're back with us. Grish likes to jump on right after I post a live stream, and you can chat in the afternoon when it's live, so I kind of monitor the chat from the studio. But it's good to have Grish. Tony stopped in and said he'll be here in the second hour, so we welcome Tony whenever he arrives. It's good to have you, Hank. It's, I guess, a chilly Bluffton, South Carolina, but Hank, it's great to have you. I did send you, Hank, a text this week, so I don't know if you got my text message or not, but I did send you a text. Maybe you have since we've talked last changed your cell number, but please don't share that with me on the air. And I told Hank I hope it warms up tonight as he's in the live stream. We've got the Cyber Gizmo with us tonight, so hello. It's good to have you. Grish is in the house. Hello, Grish. I have this music blasting in my house right now. I'm glad you guys like that track. So that is, let me just tell you where you can get that track. It's by a band called Cool Cat, I believe. And let me just check in my inbox here. It's from Premium Beat, and they have been purchased since then. But if you just Google Premium Beat, that track is about $45 to license it, and I can play it every Christmas. I listen to the other tracks. I can't find anything I like better than that or as much. So that's the track that you guys get to hear. It's good to have Angie in the house. She's my kind of adopted older sister. She lives on Hank's side of the United States, and it's great to have Angie here. It's 3 hours later for her and many of you guys here from that part of the U.S., but we want to wish you a very happy holiday. And I can't see you, but you can see me, Angie, so greetings. And I said hi, sis. Hi, Cyber Gizmo in the chat. Chris says, I was about to say muted, but he noticed. Thank you. Yeah, I just, I forgot I muted that mic in the intro. I'm used to the Rodecaster automatically. The Rodecaster video, a big advantage of that, Grish and the rest of y'all, is in the Rodecaster video, you can set it up so that when you're playing the video, you can go in and say, I want it to switch to another camera view. And then when you switch to that camera view, this microphone's on. But when you're playing a video, this microphone is set to, it's kind of a, not a mute, but it's a cover, because it's a different color on the audio settings. And next year, we'll go over some of that when we get back to the Rodecaster video. I do have it on tonight. I could bring the software up. I am feeding tonight's program back into my Rodecaster video, just in case that I couldn't get the audio to work at the level I wanted it to. I could have then streamed from the Rodecaster video by just feeding the program from my ATEM into that. So we are now having audio, so I apologize for that short interruption, and I'm glad Angie was excited too. Grish, back to the ATEM. Annie did the transition back, go reset up everything from scratch. No, I haven't. I am going to redo the studio, Grish, after the first of the year, but I haven't finalized my plan. I don't know that we're going to do much changing in here. It might paint a wall, but we're going to rewire the studio because so much has changed since I wired it. So it's been rewired. I want to reorganize it. I want to have some ability to send all of my cameras to maybe the ATEM and the Rodecaster video. We'll see, maybe even more devices, because I like to do training in my studio. So I do consulting, and we'll talk later about that tonight and show you guys where the link is if you want to take advantage of a 1 hour free consult if you haven't already. So tonight's agenda, we are going to unbox something that came in the mail. And I don't know what the deal is, but I seem to be opening up all of these things before Christmas. So hopefully there'll be something under the tree. But we have tonight's item in. Let's see, let's fire this back up, turn that off, turn this back on. And let me find that camera. I think it's right here, maybe right here. I don't know what each one of these presets are. That's me. maybe there it is. So in this box right there, and it's also right there over my thumb, is the box that we're going to unbox tonight. So be ready for that tonight, because that's going to be a lot of fun. And I do have a poll. We'll continue in the chat here in a minute, but I do have a poll up tonight. The poll question is, do you think you know what's in the box for tonight's unboxing? So it's inside that box there. Let me just say this. This is a box that sits in our entrance of our house, and I just thought that would be perfect instead of the Amazon box that this item came in. I took the box out of the box and put it back in the box. So this will be over here on my desk shortly, but we're going to unbox that tonight. We're also going to talk about the new software update for the YoloCam S3. I did put the disclaimer in the notes tonight. In all fairness, I do want to be totally upfront with you that YoloLive sent me the YoloCam S3. I've already done 2 videos here on my channel. So I clicked the box tonight because I am going to focus later in the live stream on showing you what the software has available now, and we'll talk about what they did as upgrades. So there is a new software version we'll talk about later, as well as a firmware update for the camera, and so it makes the webcam by YoloLive, the YoloCam S3, even better, and we'll talk about how that did it. So in the poll tonight, 14% of 7 votes say you think, yes, you know what's in the box, and 86% say no. So I'll give you a hint. I've talked about this possibly coming. So now if you want to say you know now in the chat, then that's great. So we'll come back. And then we'll talk about what's going on next week. So tonight we're going to do that unboxing, and we're going to actually play around with this as well. We'll see how far we can go with it, but that item in that box we'll be unboxing first tonight. And then if you stay for the second hour, we'll be talking about what's happening next week and our special guests and all the cool things that are going to happen the week of Christmas here at the Bennett house in Life Journey Production Studios, which is where we're at right now. So let's pop back in the chat and catch up here. I'm going to come back to the questions. Good to have you, Pro 7 Vegas. Love the snappy fingers. Were you in a jazz band in high school? I played jazz drums, but not in high school. I took drum lessons when I was a teenager, 12, 13, 14. I think my parents bought me a drum set at 12. And so that's my music career. I also played guitar. I've had a recording studio. So hopefully if I've been a producer and had a recording studio that I could keep time with the song. Now the question is, was I keeping time with the video playing in the studio, or was I keeping time with the video playing on YouTube? They're one and the same, but you have to process that. I'll let you do that. So the noise is gone that you had on the ATEM all the time. How did you fix it? Well, Grish, I had the compressor on, and I played with the settings today, and evidently having the compressor on in the ATEM was just bringing the noise more in the forefront. So I have a gate on the noise all the time. And if you know anything about the ATEM software, it has the audio settings. Well, I might as well show you guys that real quick. Has the audio settings. We'll take Grish's comment off the line. And so right up here, I had the compressor on, and the compressor is off tonight on the master. And then we'll look at my mic, and I have the gate on and the compressor, but I brought the compressor all the way down to 1.2. So it's just basically 20% compression, just to kind of level out my voice. I had it set to 2 to 1, actually 2.5 to 1. And what that means is that all the lows get compressed up and all the highs get compressed down. And the number 2 to 1 means that for every 1 dB it goes up, it's going to compress 2 BDs down, or 2.5 or 3%. So you can take the dynamics of the audio, and with a compressor, you can just squeeze everything together. So it will make your ears wear out faster when you're listening on headphones by having a lot of compression on the audio, as well as it can make all the noise get compressed as well. So the softness of my voice gets brought up with a compressor, but so with the noise. So that's what I did, Grish. I hope that answers your question. Okay. We'll come back to your other comments. Let's see here. Good to have you, David, from Australia. It's so awesome when you show up. I really appreciate it. It's good to have K9 Striker here. I hope it's a box of Ratso. I can just tell you this. Ratso will be here before the new year. You do the math, and I'll talk about what's happening in the weeks to come later tonight. Glad you love Ratso, Angie. Did I miss Ratso last week? No, Ratso has not been on the live stream for such time, but I guarantee you Ratso is going to be on the stream very soon. And if you don't know who Ratso is, it's okay. If you show up in the next couple weeks, you'll get to know who Ratso is. Not sure. He probably commented early. So lively today. Yeah, I'm feeling good today. I was kind of under the weather the last couple weeks, but I'm feeling much better. Let me go back in and fill in the blanks here. Chris says, are you going to loop through your Rodecaster video out as an HDMI input on the HDMI, the way you can play back media and also use the nice preamps in the Rodecaster? Well, yeah, here's what I was testing tonight, and there's kind of some stuff. I'll talk about this in 2026, but when you are going to go directly from the ATEM and bring the ATEM into the Rodecaster, there's some audio settings you have to mess with, but it does mean that, and I also brought the Rodecaster into my stream, because if I wanted to, then I could play a clip from the Rodecaster. In fact, this will probably give us some delay, but this is actually the Rodecaster, and I'm getting a crazy loop. For some reason, if I bring the Rodecaster into the stream and show you that channel, things go crazy. But if I was to switch channels in the Rodecaster right now to the video around the house and play it, then I could cut to that on my live stream. So let me cut back to that. And so I can play this video, and it's from the Rodecaster video. So the Rodecaster can be brought into the live stream, which would be really cool. So if I had 4 or 5 videos on the Rodecaster video that I wanted to bring into tonight's live stream, I have it coming in tonight as an input on my Extreme number 2. And we won't go too deeply into that. So, I mean, on the ATEM. So, yeah, the ATEM right now is doing the audio. The ATEM is streaming. I'm using it to go live. All I did was set up the Rodecaster video as a backup streaming plan, and I also brought it into tonight's stream. So you just saw a video from the Rodecaster video. So, and Chris says, sorry, let's see, that doesn't show up. Grisha's having trouble typing out his questions, so sorry, I mean the Rodecaster to the ATEM, and yes, the Rodecaster is coming into my second ATEM, Extreme ISO. So I have 2 in the studio, and my second one I use for other inputs like the Rodecaster video. I could bring my ATEM Mini Pro in as an input, so I could demo it in the middle of a consult. So I'm playing around with how that would work in a consult. So I do have the Rodecaster video coming in tonight to tonight's live stream, and then I have the two HDMI outs of the ATEM Extreme number 2. They come in to channel 3 and 4 in my main ATEM tonight. So it has 8 inputs. It's the ATEM Extreme ISO. And so 1 is camera 1, 2 is this camera, Camera 1 is to the left, and I could cut to that real quick. And there you are looking over my shoulder. And then tonight I have it set up to bring a mobile cam into one of the inputs from this cable going into my Extreme number 2. So I have that coming in tonight in channel 1, and we'll do that a little bit later. And then I have the actual program of the Rodecaster video coming into channel 4, and then channel 5 is my laptop, channel 6 is my PC, and 7 and 8 are my HyperDeck. So if I was to cut back to 7, it will start playing the intro again. And so we don't need that to play again. So that's all my channels, and 7 and 8 are my HyperDeck because I can do animated graphics, and I need a key channel and a fill channel. So channel 7 is the fill, which is just like you would play a video through channel 7. But if I was going to play an animated graphic, and I think I have one on here. Yeah, so if I wanted to play an animated graphic, I would bring it through a key, and it would look like this in channel 7, and we'll loop that. But in channel 8, it looks like this. It's just a white background, and that is what's used to key out the background when you use an animated graphic. So you don't bring it in by changing to channels 7 and 8 when you're going to do a animated graphic. You bring it through one of your upstream keys or your downstream keys, and that lays it on top just like this graphic right here. So all my inputs are filled, and because I want to change between my phone and SuperSource and other things, I use that first ATEM, and then I can go in and change what's coming out of that HDMI out. And so, okay. It's good to have you as well. Aviator, so here from Germany. Happy holidays to you as well. My heart goes out to what happened in Australia and the Hanukkah event and the lives that were lost there. So just wanted to say that my heart goes out to that. I obviously hear the news here, and I heard that news, and that kind of breaks my heart a little bit. But we're going to go on with tonight's stream. Let's turn chat off the air for a minute. Let me set up my overhead camera, and then let's turn on. Check. Let's cut to this microphone, and I'm going to get up and go grab that box, and we're going to dive in tonight's unboxing. Let me clear the desk up the best I can. We're going to move my cool logo color keyboard. I love this Hopkeys keyboard. I don't know if you guys are into keyboards or not, but I love this. It's got the ability to bring in 3 different devices. So I can use it in the first channel on my PC. The second channel, I believe, is my laptop. And believe it or not, the third channel is my iPad. And I'm using the iPad tonight for mix effects. And that means that I can change layouts just by hitting the buttons on here. And I have one called Me and a Logo. And so we're going to be changing the layouts tonight using mix effects. So this will set aside. So this is the box that my wife has at the entrance of the house. And so we're going to get what's in here out. And I will show you the desk here in a minute. But let's grab this. Got a box inside the box. So it gives you an idea if you want to guess based on that size of what tonight's unboxing is going to be. So let me set this on my desk. It's going to barely fit. And then the box is now empty. Okay, so let me look at it first and see how I'm going to open it. Got some tape all along this side, so I'm going to find something in here. I didn't bring a knife tonight, so I will just use a pen. I'm going to break this seal, then we'll go down on the desk. I think that got it. So let's try that layout right there. Okay, so let's turn this box over and get it in here as far as we can. Let's see if I have a different look here. Go all the way out. And let's come in just a little. See if we can slide the Rodecaster video over just a touch. That's almost good. Make a little adjustment to the camera. Much better. I think I'll live with this. Cool. So, drum roll. What could it be? Let's open it up and see. Oh my goodness, what in the world has happened to my studio? So there you go. This is officially the YoloBox Extreme. And let me give you guys a awareness right now. They did send this to me. It's not mine. This is a loaner unit. And I told them I'm not going to commit to making any videos, but I've done some research. I'm at least going to unbox it, and I'm going to look at this. But we're going to unbox it tonight. So it's in its own box, and it comes with 2 boxes. So we're going to get it out of here. And then we'll get the other box. So take this out and this out. No clue what's in here. So let's take a look what's in this smaller box. Oh, it looks like it's the power supply. So it's just in a box. And like a solid brick. And it looks like it's the different power adapters. And the power supply is right here on that side. And then I believe I don't need that one. A little hard to get out of here. Great idea. I need to get it out of the box. This doesn't come apart. So let me use my pen. Don't need that one. Must be this one right here I need. I'm going to have to use the point. There it is. That's the one I need. So it has the other 2 ends for different countries. So this snaps together. probably instructions somewhere. There we go. Snap together. So we'll set that aside, and I'll show you guys the box. This is the front of, this is the YoloBox Extreme, and says more power behind every capability. It's by YoloLive, and again, they did send this over for me to look at. I'm not obligated to do any review, and I will be sending this back, it looks like. So it shows you the ports, and on here it also shows you the power button, gives you a little bit of look into it. The back of it, on this side, it just says YoloBox Extreme. And then on the back, has those labels. And then on that side, you have a description. Now, this is brand new. They weren't doing any more loaners. So, but they decided to go ahead and send me one. So I got a brand new one from the United States. I did not want to send anything overseas, so they sent this to me. So let's break into the plastic here. Not going to be able to put that back. There we go. Okay, and let's open her up. So what is the YoloBox? It is actually a complete streaming device, and it actually has the ability to do 4K. So the first 3 inputs of the 8 are HDMI, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4K. And this is like a little mini computer, and got a screen protector on it. And in the box should be some cables. On the bottom, you have a place to put a SIM card, so you could actually put a SIM card in this and stream directly from it without using a network. And then you have an SD slot, and then you got a power slot. You got the on and off button. There is a fan on the back. There is no Mesa mount, but there is a threaded mount right here. So also in the case, there is a little on top of your camera, but this is quite heavy. So this is not something that I would put on a camera. You could on a high-end camera rig, or you could just put it on a tripod, not on top of the camera, using the camera mount, but it's quite hefty. On this side, you can see it's got an antenna port to increase the signal, an antenna port there. There are antennas in here. So, and then there's a fan right here on the right, some writing here that tells you about it. And so that side is antenna, that side is antenna, and then the top is the port. So you have 2 HDMI outputs, if you're wondering. You have a Ethernet input. You got 2 USB A 3.0 ports. I think these are 3.0. Then you have the mic and line. So you could do line in or mic in. And then right here are some little fans, it looks like. And then you have a Type C and a lightning port. And again, you have this nice shiny plastic cover that is now off. So we've taken that off. We'll put that back in here. And so I don't want to get a bunch of fingerprints on it right now. So I'm going to set this aside, and we'll see what else is in the box. Put this somewhere where it's not going to get beat up. So then we'll lift up this little carton thing, and we'll see what's in the box. So you have join our 9,000 plus Facebook community. You can scan the QR code. So if you'd like to join the Facebook community, there is the barcode, and other email information, WhatsApp, a lot of information right there. These are the two antennas. And so these come out of the box. Oops, that one's on the floor. So they snap in. So you have these little antennae. And then there is these two little tools to install them. And there's the box to that. Put that stuff back in the box. Find the one that fell on the floor. Set that aside. And this is the adapter I was telling you about. And so the top of this would screw in to the bottom of the YoloBox Extreme. And then this is, like I said, the shoe mount. And that's the mount. So I will say that Aaron Parecki has a mount system that you can purchase. It's like $150. And then if you buy the handles, it's like $160. And that will then support the Extreme on your desk and tilt it up. It's got bars to put in different devices like a wireless microphone. So we'll put that back in there. See if we can get the antennas back in the box here. Put that back in, cool little box. Then we'll open this little manual. And this is the manual. Thank you for choosing YoloLive. And so lots of pages here. As I'm going through, it's in English. And so lots of pages, all the instructions. You have 32 pages in this manual. And the last page has the barcode, important things to know. And then, you know, all of these pages for you to learn how to use it. And it is not a simple device. It is high tech. Okay. That right there. So you have a USB-A to USB-C cable and a USB-C to USB-C cable. And I'm assuming that this one is for your power, and we will power it up here in a second. And this one is maybe for webcam, it says right here. So I guess they have labels. That's really cool. So shout out to YoloLive for charging only. So it does have a battery in it. I haven't done the specs, so I will be looking at all of that and talking about that in the future after I get acquainted with this device. But I watched a few people online over the last few months, but I haven't done a lot of research. I haven't done a lot of planning for tonight, just really an unboxing, and we are going to turn it on. And I do have a camera here ready to go to plug into it. So again, webcam cable, USB-A. You can see the blue, that means it's 3.0 or better, and then USB-C on that side. And again, that's for webcam, and this is for charging. And they've got like a rubber band on them. So let's stick those back in here just for a second. And that's it. There's nothing else. No other lids come out. That's the box. And this is actually the bottom of the box. So that's all that comes with it. So the card, the manual, the antennas, the adapter, these two cables, and then this came in a separate box with the different inserts for the different power needs in the different countries. So let's get out what we need. So we're going to definitely need the charging. We're going to definitely need the high-end capacity USB-C cable. So we'll check out some of my cameras to see if we can get those to come up. We'll keep the instruction guide out in case we get stuck, and we'll clean up a little bit, and we'll get back to playing with this device. So let me just put the lid back on here, and then we'll get set up to power it up. So we'll open this cable for the webcam, and we'll open this cable for the power brick. We'll plug the power brick in. Might as well cut back to that other view. So we'll go ahead and plug in the power brick. It's just got a USB-C adapter plug. So that's plugged in. Then I need to add power to this. So let's grab some power. Just happen to have an extension cord here ready to go. So there is only the 2 prongs. So this does have a ground. So plug that in. To set that back on the floor, let's grab the YoloBox Extreme. So this is the Type-C, and this is the power port. And as you can see, if you got all of this stuff plugged in, it's going to be difficult to, let's keep the little rubber bands, not lose those. It's going to be difficult to be able to have all those cables and stuff hooked into it. So we'll catch that as it falls on my desk. We're going to turn this around. It's got a red light right there indicating that it's ready to power on. But let's plug a couple things into it first. Let's see. Somewhere here, I have an HDMI cable for my main camera. It's a 1080p Canon 5D Mark III, so we're going to plug it in the 1080p slot. Let's grab a webcam. Set this on my desk before it falls. Again, already it's almost fallen on me a couple times, so beware. Gonna move this power cord somewhere so it's not hanging in our way. Okay, so let's pick it up and plug in a USB-C device. You got 1 and 2. Set that back down. Try not to hit the fade to black button on my studio tonight. Let's try a Insta360 and see if that actually works. This does not send uncompressed video, so we're gonna see if it works. So we'll set this over here on my desk. I have no way of controlling it. I might be able to control it from inside the device. So let's turn the camera on. My camera is on, and let's go up here, and I could hook up an Ethernet cable to it. Okay, try to get that out of our way as well. Good time for me to take a drink. I'll look at the chat here in a minute. Okay. I remember a power button somewhere. Must be on this side. There it is. So there's the power button. I don't know if I have a SD drive. Not sure how this slot works. Be careful here. Let's put something on the desk to support this. Go Hawks. Yeah, I don't want to scratch it with that. take one of these rubber drives, two of these. I want to just get a little tilt to it. There we go. So now I can reach the button right here and push. There we go. Got to hold the button down for 3 seconds, I guess. I haven't turned this on, so I don't know what's happening. So there you go. YoloLive, create smart. Cool. There you go. It says live stream, sign in, monitor mode. So let's get out our little manual. There it is. Because I don't want to mess this up. Talks about memory cards, battery and charging instructions, more on the memory card. YoloBox Extreme, up to 8 HDMI inputs. Got a stronger CPU, Qualcomm 8 Gen 2 CPU. No computer OBS required, so you can do graphics and overlays. All-in-one encoder, switcher, recorder, monitor, all in one. So it can record ISOs. It can do 4K streaming with 5 inputs. You can do 1080p streaming. Again, it says right here, ISO recordings. Capture all the video inputs as well as the program video and save them separately. You can also adjust the resolution, frame rate, bit rate for each of the recording. Cellular bonding combined up to 4 internet sources, 4G cellular, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and a USB dongle. So that's really cool. So we talked a little bit about bonding last week. What that means is that you could take the card from your cellular provider. I'm T-Mobile, so you'd have that. You could get that with an account, have the speed of that. Then you could have a dongle plugged in to the USB-C, probably port 1 or 2. And then you could actually have wireless internet, and you could also have a Ethernet cable, which we have right here. So I have internet in the house, and it can bond it all together. So if you're somewhere doing a remote event, and you needed to have it outdoors and be able to use maybe a little bit of a wireless signal plus your T-Mobile SIM card, that would be a great option as well. So let's just enter monitor mode. There we go. So you can see my camera came up. We want to do 30 frames per second. Detecting the signal input on HDMI 1. The port requires manual input frame rates selection. So I believe it's 30 frames per second. So let's click done. And there you see me. I am in my 5D Mark III camera. It will time out after 30 minutes. So if the camera goes out, we'll pop it back on. It says add a video source. So what did I plug into? I plugged into USB 1. So let's see, USB 1. That's the SD card. I really don't know yet what I'm doing. So I don't have anything else plugged in up here as inputs. I just have the one HDMI. So got a picture-in-picture view thing here. Need at least 2 pictures. Cancel that. Let's see. USB 1, nothing. USB 2, nothing. Okay, so let's unplug And my Insta360 lit up. So I would think that it's detecting it. I wonder why it's not. So this is for web interfaces. SRT listening, RTMP, RTSP, NDI. It's a pretty powerful device. I can tell you that much. So I know we have a USB 1, a USB 2, and I'm plugged into USB 1. And it's not seeing this camera. So let's unplug it. And let's try the face cam from Elgato. And it lit up. Yeah, it showed up. So it's right there. I can switch to it. So we have 2 inputs. Let's set this over here. There you go. So far the Insta360 did not work. So we have 2 inputs now, and as we add more inputs, they're just going to increase. So we could go ahead and use my adapter and add my phone. So let me plug this in. Let me get out of the YouTube channel here. Let's go to, we're going to use the Filmic Pro Legacy, which is the original version that you did a one-time pay. Now this is plugged into my Extreme, so we're going to unplug it. Actually, you know what? Let's get a different cable. Do I have? I guess I put those away. So I'll go ahead and pull it. So we lost that from the ATEM for now. Plug this into input 2. Be careful. Don't want to turn my stream off. And I'm not sure what that's at. It's got 2 inputs, HDMI 1, HDMI 2. So I'm going to go 30 on that as well. And it is now live. And it flipped. So let's set this down very gently. So now I have my camera. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Sorry, I should have done this earlier. My bad. Okay, so this is sending a picture. You can see right there. My webcam fell. Put it over there. So we have that webcam, and we have 3 sources now plugged in. Now I don't have any audio plugged into it yet, but I could turn the audio on this camera. Check, check, check. So now I have audio signals here, and I don't see any audio levels up there yet. Let me choose this camera. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. But I still see no audio. There's an audio level meter right there. Let's click on the audio page, and let's see. I don't see where I can enable this camera up here in the list. So still got some learning to do with the list. Let's go through here. The record page. These are overlays, so I could hit yes for an overlay. And let's just do this sample one. So now it has an overlay on the screen. And then you can see I have a whole menu here of what I can do with the overlays. It looks like I can change the background color and make it my colors. Let's go black, be one of my colors. And we'll leave the fonts the color they are. And so done. So that overlay is available. And then it looks like I can tap it and it comes on the air. You can see this is the program, tap it again, and it goes off the air. So there's a lot of cool features here. So let's go back in the chat and see what you guys have to say. Again, thank you so much to my advocate at YoloLive. I was approached about 2 months ago asking me if I wanted to take a look at the YoloCam S3 webcam because I used the Insta360s. And little did I know that these will not work with the Rodecaster video, and this did not work so far with the Extreme, and this is the YoloBox Extreme, not to be confused with the ATEM Mini Extreme ISOs that I have in my studio. This is a device. Obviously, we'll switch back to this. This device right here is a powerful computer. It's got the LCD screen. You have the ability to add audio. You have the ability to do bonding. You saw it had all of those different sources. So you have lots of different things, SRT, NDI, which is all protocols over the internet, but it does not so far work with this camera. Now we can try it again. So we can pull the cable again off of my other webcam, and then we'll plug this in again. There it is. So it is working. So it can be our live stream. So there you can see the Insta360 link is working. So I stand corrected. I don't know why it didn't adjust before. And so this camera works as well. I just laid it down on the table. So we now have 3 inputs, a webcam, a device plugged in with a dongle. And again, let's just set this down on the desk. But this is the app. Open, and then I have a lightning to a HDMI adapter, and then there's also a power adapter so I can plug power into it. So HDMI, and that brings the video out of my camera. So I'm going to turn the audio back off on this for later in the studio. So I can use the Insta360 link. So that's really cool that this is now working. Now I can't adjust the camera. What I love about these little Insta360 links is they have 3 gimbals. And we'll be looking at the new software update for the YoloCam S3 here in a little bit in the second hour, but I really wanted to dive in a little bit to this device. And so you can kind of see what that camera looks like. Let's get it adjusted on me, and we'll switch between that and my higher end Canon 5D Mark III. And now this is the 50mm lens, so it's pretty close on me. So you can compare those pictures. Now, I don't have this coming into tonight's live stream, but there you go. And then I could set this camera up to see where could I set this just to get it as an option here. So now I can switch between these In this picture right there, you can see iPhone camera is on their screen, Insta360 Link version 1, and my 5D Mark III with the 50mm 1.2 lens on it. So obviously I like that lens the best, and I haven't really color corrected. I have it on auto, white balance, auto ISO, and then I have it at 60 frames per second, or 1/60th of a shutter speed, 30 frames per second, and then it's sitting 1080p. That's all the Canon 5D Mark III will do out of the HDMI mini port. Doesn't have a micro port, doesn't have a full size port, but it does have a mini port. So cool. So I'm liking what I see so far. Let's set this webcam down. We'll let it look at my keyboard here. And let's look at some of the other menus. So there's the record menu. And then you have this menu gives you all kinds of information about the different cameras you have coming in. It looks like a scoreboard page. Replay built in as well. So replay settings, replay video, speed. So you have instant replay set in. Auto switching, so you can add audio to each one of your cameras and then have it auto switch, which is a really cool feature. This looks like no music files. So if you had some music, there would be a list of your music files. And then you have fade to black. These are different transitions: fade, wipe, directional wipe, transitional wipe. So, and then there's this little 3 dots here on the bottom that you can hit. And you have all of these different icons, I believe, included on the bottom. Those are the tools. And then there's a little systems wheel on the top. And this is where you can show your CPU usage, show titles and action zones. So you can turn that on and off. Video source switch, classic mode. So there's different switching modes, double click or click to switch. So if you want to have a little bit more control over not hitting something by accident, exit out of this. And now if I tap on it, it will not switch unless I double tap, and now I'm changing cameras because I'm double tapping. So okay, let's go back in that system wheel. So video source switch, classic mode, which we just changed. A director mode, double click to switch. So I'm not sure what director mode is. Let's get out of all of this. Not sure what that is. We'll turn that back off. Local video play settings. So playback position, hold, loop, playback. So I can change the way the videos are playing back on the SD card. Back in here. You have HDMI out. So you have program out. I can change the video out. So got HDMI 1, 2, 3 in, frame rate settings. Again, those are HDMI, so they have frame settings. USB-C out. USB-C out, ensure USB-C out is enabled. So this would be if you wanted to bring it into a Zoom call or something like that. So you'd enable that. You can flip it horizontally if you want to stream portrait, looks like. Get back. Got a back arrow on the right-hand side. Internal storage. So you've got some internal storage, 216 gigabytes of internal storage, and it gives you how much is being used. So I could put files right on here or record directly to that, and we'll hit back. SD recording file management. So I can manage the SD files, and it would tell me what files are right here. USB storage, record file management. Then you have mobile web control. So again, these are the steps to set up mobile streaming. And YoloDeck configuration. So YoloDeck is a device that you can buy. It's like a stream deck for a YoloBox. So you can get a YoloDeck and have buttons to do streaming. So if you like having a Stream Deck, you could actually use a YOLO deck, and that's the setup right here. Get out of that. And that seems to be it on this screen. So I think I've gone through all the settings, overlays. So I want to get back to the main page. There it is. So I could keep adding video sources because, again, we have 8 sources. I don't have a 4K source available, but you can add, again, I have 2 cameras in my studio that are 4K. That's my EOS Rs. So I could plug them into these ports, and then I could actually stream 4K. And trust me, if we start diving into this live, we will actually do a 4K. That's the fade to black button, which you can now enable in the control software from Blackmagic Design. So I dropped my camera. So, okay. That's a little bit of a dive into that device. Let's get back in the chat and see what you guys are saying. Let me turn the overhead camera off and turn the chat back on the air. And let's see what you guys are saying. Wow. Look, that keyboard can smash the like button. Yeah. Cool. Hey, Keith, good to have you here. Joe. Let's see. Good to have you here. GB Pro 7 Vegas. Could it be a video switcher? Yeah, you are correct. I am into switchers. So I have a ATEM Mini Pro. I have a ATEM Extreme ISO 1, ATEM Extreme ISO 2. I have the new Rodecaster Video. I do not have a Rodecaster S, but I do have a Rodecaster Video, and now I have been loaned by YoloLive Extreme for a couple months to run it through its paces and to share here with my live stream audience if it's a good choice for possibly streaming. I can think of a lot of uses for a device like this. Again, the monitor is built in, the bonding that you can do, the fact that you can combine 4K signals and HDMI signals. You have the different network source video, SDI, NDI, and all of those available to you. And then 2 HDMI outs is really cool as well. Think about it. You have a monitor built in, and you still have 2 HDMI outs. So you could go to a confidence monitor or 2, or you could have one be a monitor playing video inside an event area. So quite interesting. And I haven't even seen how many keys overlays it can do yet. I haven't even delved into it yet. So good to have you, Toto, joining us. Okay. Know what it is. It's a YoloBox loaner. Yes, it is. Certainly isn't a Drim kit. Dremel kit. Well, maybe it looks too narrow and not too tall enough. I bet it's a ping pong table. Is it time to push the like symbol? I would love it if you guys would hit the like symbol. Maybe a drum machine. Nope. A kind of resembles a YoloBox. Yeah, it is a YoloBox Extreme. Dude, I knew. Woohoo! Very cool. Wow, cool. You finally have vendors sending you things. Watch out, Parecki. Keith's on the loose. That's funny. Psychic powers working tonight. Okay. Keith, I would be really interested in your take on this device. Yeah, I'm going to give you my take so far, but I've only started to scratch the surface. So shrink wrapped and new. Yep, interesting for loaner. Yeah, it is a loaner. Again, thank you to YoloLive for seeing my videos on the ATEM Mini Pro and my ATEM Mini Extreme videos, my videos on the Insta360 links, and that got their attention, and they invited me to start looking at their devices, and I'm super excited. Again, they agreed that I can look at it, not put it online or put it on a video or record a video, and they shipped it from the United States, so I don't have to send it overseas back to them. It was new in the box, so I didn't get one with issues. I haven't checked the firmware yet, but I will be updating the firmware and letting you guys know more about it. 4K streaming, going to have to call your IT guy and upgrade your internet. No, I have 100 gigabytes up, so I should be able to 4K stream with that. So, and he can ramp it up even more. So we'll see. How long do you have the YoloBox? 2 months? I would be so afraid to drop it. Yeah, I almost tilted it over. So yeah, we'll look at the pricing. It's almost $2,000. It's on sale right now for the holidays. And there is a Amazon associate link in the description below for it and the YoloCam S3. So if you're interested in actually getting the YoloBox Extreme, which will do 8 inputs plus USB cameras as well as NDI sources, SRT sources, pretty cool. Internet bonding, HDMI, 2 HDMI outs plus USB-C out. Lots of cool features on this device, and we'll see, can it handle all those 5 4K inputs plugged in and 3 HDMI inputs and still stream 4K. We'll have to run it through the paces. It's cool that you can check the CPU usage inside it, and I will also be looking to see what firmware it is. Let's see if I can find that right now. Let's see. I don't see place yet for firmware update. I'm sure it's here. Audio, recording, coding settings, scoreboard, replay looping, auto switching. I do not see yet where I can find yeah. As of right now, let me hit the back arrow on the top left. Are you sure you want to exit monitor mode? Let's not do that. So I'll look for the firmware later. That thing's that's a thing I don't like about it. That it's flat. Would have been nicer if it was slanted. Yeah. So in all fairness, I totally agree. So let me just bounce here for a second onto the mighty web. Okay. So Aaron actually sells stands, Aaron Parecki. In fact, I asked him for a discount code in the live stream on Sunday, and they're 20% off right now, but he does have one for the Extreme. And so these are 3D printed by another company. Aaron, I think, designs them now in conjunction and then sells them. So if you want to know more information about that, I'll do the research and get the link in the description tonight. But so if you want it nicely tilted up, and then I would buy super light HDMI cables as well, so you could bundle them together or have a cable made for you. So if you're going to do longer runs, you can make some nice cables where you take those smaller ones, and then you have this covering that you can wrap around it. And then in the end, they can flay out to plug in the back of the device. And then on the other end, you can have them go to different cameras. But the fact that it sits like this on the desk is a challenge. I have the chat on right now, so I can't turn my over camera, but I wish it was slanted on my desk. Now, you could get the door stops, which I've used here before. I have videos on my channel. I actually did I think a New Year's tips, a video a couple of years ago that talks about using door stops, the rubber door stops. And you can just get those sticking picture hangers and use those to, again, you're trying to stick rubber to back of an ATEM or a YoloBox. So the nice thing about Aaron's stand, again, is it actually squeezes and clamps on the YoloBox Extreme, and it's already tilted up. So I would really suggest getting that. I thought about ordering one and just spending the money to have it for any videos that I do, and I may still do that, even though I have to send the device back. It is what it is. I'm just so happy to have my hands on this device, and I hope in the near future I'll get my hands on the G2 ATEM Extreme, which would be really cool too, because it has some new features that Blackmagic Design has added that I would like to play with, like the Thunderbolt. I'd like to play with the MADI input. I like to play with the XLR inputs that are on that device and the new audio page. I'd like to plug it into DaVinci Resolve and use the Thunderbolt out to transfer files to DaVinci while I'm live and then send them back in replay. I'd like to do graphics from my computer directly through the Thunderbolt into the new Extreme G2 by Blackmagic Design. And I'm excited because I have a new client that has the G2. And so we have been talking about it. I have seen the software. I have seen it on his desk, and I'm actually helping him learn how to use the G2, even though I've never touched one. I've done tons of research on that device to see if it's something I wanted to add to my studio. So again, shout out to Aaron Parecki because he has this amazing stand. He has stands for the ATEM, the Extreme, the other YoloBox. He has a stand for a lot of devices. So check out Aaron Parecki's channel. I'll put his web page. It's just aaronparecki.com. And I think, let's see, this is this is his actual page, pk1.tv/YoloBox. It's right up here on the screen. And for some reason, not all the pictures have come in yet, but you can see here's the PK1 in-stream stand that's got the ability to tilt things. And for YoloBox Pro, YoloBox Ultra, let's see what we have on the top here. Here's the ATEM Mini Extreme stand. Again, this video is not sponsored by Aaron Parecki. I just like what Aaron's doing. You can even hang a monitor off of his stand. It's got these nice aluminum bars, and then you just buy feet that slide in the track. I think he sells all these parts. So you got OC stands available right here. Another company that makes some great streaming devices, Rode. See what he's got for Rode. So yeah, he's got this stand for the Rodecaster X, Pro Streamer X, sorry, right there. So that's the only stand I think he has. And then some cheese plates for that. YoloBox. Here's the YoloBox Extreme coming up right now. And again, got the aluminum bar across the bottom, aluminum bar across the top. And then there's extra mounts available. You can order the handles as extras. And there's side handles as well. The side handles are $19.20 and they come in black and orange. And you can see all of the things that he has available. I will copy this and I will drop this into tonight's video. So there's a promotion for Aaron. And I also put a quick little thing in there for tonight's live stream. So there you go. There's the stand. On sale right now for $111 for the stand. Then you have, what is this? Pro Streamer DSU desktop. So you can see that's a little different. Here is looks like a handle only, and some mounts on the back that you can get, that you can add. Select that option. You select that option. So even a mount to go portrait that they sell on that site. So then we pop over here real quick. Amazon right now has it on sale for $1,899, and I do have a link from Amazon, associate link. So if you decide to buy one or a YoloCam S3, then please use the link. So let's see. I think did I go to? Here's YOLO. See. So here is their website. Tells you all about the device. 8 HDMI inputs, 4K streaming, NDI, SRT, ISO recording. Again, that records all the inputs. That's what ISO stands for. So if you buy like an ATEM Mini Pro, it only records the main program out, which is what you're seeing right now. But I have an extreme ISO, and I could be recording all the inputs. That means the full version of that input, this full version without the crop, would be recorded, and all the other cameras that I have plugged into my Extreme, even the ones that you're not seeing, would be recorded with ISO recordings. The YoloBox Extreme can do that as well. Multicam replay, as well as app and web control. So I do like the fact that you can bring a web page in. So I think you could do like HDR graphics in it as well. But again, I got a lot to learn about this device. It does have portrait streaming, which is really cool. Here you see a stand, a true powerhouse more. So I don't know if they're using someone's stand or they made a stand. I don't know. Then they have their S7 camera, and then more information about YoloLive's own cloud platform. So they do have their own cloud platform. So if you want to learn more about that device, I will put this link in the description. So you guys can check that out as well. And that's what I've been dropping in here. So let's go. Okay, those are all in tonight's description. So hopefully that brings us up to speed on this device as far as we are going to go tonight. Let's keep going. Maybe the USB 1 is not detecting. Yeah, we did get that to detect. There is a button for HDMI 2 source in the audio page. I did see that, but I'm not running audio into the HDMI 1 or the HDMI. Well, I was running audio through the HDMI 2, so I will go back and look for that. The Rodecaster Video and the YoloBox want webcams that send a UVC USB signal. Yeah, but again, I got the Insta360 link to work. So if the Insta360 link works, which has 3 gimbals, then I would assume that the Insta360 link 2 works as well, and that's my downward camera. So what you're seeing when I don't have the chat on the air, and I'll shut that off real quick, and I'll just push this right over top of me. That's the key on right now. So let's take the key chat off the air and just cut to channel, what is that? Channel PC. So that is the YOLO, not the YoloCam. This is the Insta360 Link 2. It only has 2 gimbals, So I'm tilting it on the desk. It's a little hard because it doesn't have that pivot gimbal. It just has the other two gimbals. So it's not like a drone. It's more like a camera you're going to put on top of your laptop, and then it can adjust accordingly, turning right and left and up and down. So right and left gimbal it has, up and down gimbal this one has, but it doesn't have a tilt gimbal. But this beautiful little Insta360 link has a gimbal this way, right and left, and up and down, and I love that. And it is super hot right now. I mean, it is very, very hot. So I'm gonna unplug this right now and turn it off. So we know that the Elgato original face cam works because I tested it, and we know that this works. So we're going to shift gears now, and I want to spend some time. Let me make sure I've gotten through a majority of these questions. And this, I knew this would come up. I thought it had PTZ controls. I believe it does. I just don't know where they are yet. I think you have to plug a PTZ camera into it. So please don't think it doesn't because I didn't demo it. I do not have a PTZ camera. So I can plug this Insta360 link back in, and we'll click on that camera source. So that's on again. Not showed up yet. My HDMI timed out. I have this camera unplugged. So yeah, right now it's not working. HDMI input is right. So I've got this camera working again, but I don't have the USB camera yet. And I do have it plugged in right here. Let's try it again. It did overheat. So it might just be the camera. There it comes. Okay, let's click on it. That didn't do anything. If I double tap, it'll choose it. But do we have a PTZ control somewhere in here? Where would that be? Make those boxes bigger. Let's click on the top right. There we go. I got it to open up. So on the top right, there's a little icon, PTZ control. I don't know what to put here. Let's just see done. You enter the IP format. You enter the IP format is incorrect. I don't have an IP address for this camera. So to have PTZ control, it looks like you have to have a Ethernet cable, but you can do cropping, chroma keying. So I guess on the top right, there is the ability to rename the outputs, flip horizontally. Let me get this out of the way, and we'll go full screen here for right now. So this is what you get. So again, let's click out of it. On the top right, there is a little button. So you can do chroma keying. If I had a green screen behind it, I can rename the input instead of HDMI 1. I can flip it horizontally if I'm going to go to a portrait stream. Flip vertically. I can crop it. I can transition action for making transitions. So follow this system settings. And we saw the settings earlier. And then if I bring this camera up, I'll click on it. Same thing. PTZ control replicate would be if I wanted to duplicate the settings on that input to another input. Rotate 90 degrees. So that is available. So PTZ control would be for a PTZ camera somewhere in here. So I don't know how that applies to
like the new PTZ camera by Ozbot has HDMI out, and it's also networkable. And I'm pretty sure that you need to have a network PTZ camera to use the PTZ controls. We're just going to assume that and move forward because I don't have all the answers. So I hope that helping. Let's see. So let's go back here and re-enable chat. Challenge: learn the YoloLive Extreme and stream one of these weeks using the device. Yeah, I can more than live up to that challenge, Gresh, but it will be after the first of the year because I got plans next week, which we'll be talking about here shortly. And Tony is back. I see that. So it's good to have Tony back. Very cool. Yeah, the YOLO Extreme is in the house. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Hey, we would have had a better chance of guessing what's in the box if we read the description. That is dead giveaway. Yeah, I figured that you guys don't read descriptions for the stream, so I figured I was safe for the poll. So we'll end the poll. 13 votes, 15% of you thought you knew what was in the box, and 85% had no clue. So we're going to end that poll. It is officially done. Laugh out loud, Grish. Would you use it as a reference monitor on a video shoot for a commercial? Well, obviously, you can do HDMI input, so you could use it as a reference monitor. It would also be able to show you audio levels because you can obviously enable, it has audio follows video, so we know that they wouldn't make this device if you couldn't enable the audio coming in from the HDMI source. So it makes a great monitor. So yeah, you could use it as a monitor and you could use the adapter, but it's heavy. It's way heavier than the new monitors because it's got a computer built into it. It's got all those converters, HDMI in, 4K converters. Again, it's got 5 HDMI inputs that will do 4K, and you can also stream in 4K. So it looks like a PT controller with time code with a tentacle sync and a few 4K cameras and a couple shotgun mics. You could maybe do your RV commercials out of it back or out of the back up. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, so tentacle sync, I've heard a little bit about that, but I need to do some research. So if you want to go to my link in the description, and I'll share this right now. I do have a link in the description that you can fill out this form, and then you can email me because I'll get an email tonight if you just go in here and fill out the form and send me a message right here. So I'd love to have more information about tentacle sync. So if you have any advice for me, that would be great. I don't own any PTZ cameras, so I'm still learning some of this stuff. Again, there's a lot to learn. I'm 64 years old, and I feel like I push myself all the time to learn. But if you'd like to get a free Zoom consult, or if you'd like to be a part of the town hall that's going to happen at the first of the year, what's a town hall? We all gather together on Zoom, not live. We do a short live on Tuesday nights, and then we take a quick break for everybody to use the bathroom in their houses. And then you can get the link from me if you sign up for being a part of that town hall meeting. And then we can all be on a Zoom call together just to talk about tech, what we're excited about from last year, because it'll be 2026, what we're looking forward to in 2026. And I could answer questions about the devices I have in my studio face to face rather than us just having these chats like we do on Tuesday nights. Okay, so I'm going to move on. So you can fill out that form if you'd like a free consult. First hour is free. I'd be happy to tell you how my consulting works. That's why I'm rewiring the studio. I want to be able to choose which device I want to consult on without having to come in here and pull plugs. So I've been looking on how to do that. Now I have a YOLO Extreme in my studio for a couple months. So I don't know if I'll do any consulting on that, but I would like to have my A10 Mini Pro, my Rodecaster Video, and my Extreme all ready to go at any given day in a consult. So we'll talk more about that. Okay, so let me do this. Let me open up some software here. Thought I opened this up already. Let me find it. There you go. I am opening up the software for the YoloCam S3, and let me also drop a, let me open up, minimize this real quick. Let me drop something in tonight. Still images. Oh, come on. Help me out here. Why did that just change windows to give me a hard time live? Okay, we'll drag this in right here. Wow. Won't drag in. What's going on here? Let's go. Say that again. There we go. Put this up on the screen, take chat off the air. So this is the new version 1.0.5 now available. It's new software from YoloLive for the YoloCam S3. I got the email today. You can see there's also a firmware version. So once you download the new software and you open it back up, it's going to ask you to update the firmware in your S3. Again, it's a webcam, it's not an HDMI webcam, but they say it's DSLR quality. And I'd have to say it competes with $600-700 DSLR cameras. Plus, it has some really cool software features. We're going to look at the software here in a minute. I just wanted to talk about this slide. So just so we can get back with me on the screen, let's go me and my laptop, and I will change what is in SuperSource Live box. Color generator is closed. SuperSource box 2. I'm going to put this to media player 1. And then we'll put that back in media player 1. We'll turn the key off the air. Okay, so I'm on the air now. So let's just go through these options. Let me bring it up so I can see it at the same time you guys are seeing it full screen. So what they did is they set it up. One of the big complaints about the S3 is that it would stay on all the time. It doesn't have a shutter that closes the camera. If you don't know what the S3 is, and I guess I shouldn't assume that you do know. So here is a picture of the S3 next to me. This will turn portrait or landscape. And again, it has a 1/1.3 chip in it. So it's as good as many iPhones that have been available for the last few years. The chip is very quality. It does really good in low lights. It'll go down to an ISO of 12,000, I think 800, which is really good. So I've have 2 videos on my channel. I will put those in the description tonight. They're not there now, but I've done 2 videos on this, one completely covering the software and one giving you an overview of the camera plus unboxing it. But it is a great camera. We're going to look at the picture here in a minute. I have it in my studio, but that's the camera if you were wondering what the camera is. And just so you know, that's Ratso, and Ratso will be with us next Tuesday. So get excited, because we may even pull a rabbit out of the box. No, Ratso out of a box. So anyway, so here are the features. You can completely turn off by default when the camera is not in use. So as soon as you download the new software, the camera will shut off. As soon as you close the software, it'll shut off in 60 seconds. So the camera goes dead, and you can test it by bringing open Zoom or bringing open OBS to see if there's still a signal from that camera. So number two is further improvements on autofocus accuracy, and we'll test that here in a minute. Additional color style options, cool colors and warm colors. So that's a new feature of this new firmware, Compose software. So firmware 0.0.6 and also Composer controlling software is called version 1.0.5. So removal of the login requirements to access some features. What I didn't like about the YoloCam S3 when I first got it is I had to make an account and log into YoloLive to be able to use the color correction and the save feature. Because if you're going to use this in a Rodecaster video or inside the YoloBox Extreme, you're going to have to save the settings in the camera. And as of right now, you have 4 zoom levels. It's a 4K camera, so you can use it to stream 4K, landscape, or portrait using OBS. You could 4K stream inside the YoloBox Extreme or other software on your PC or laptop, MacBook, Macintosh. You can even live stream from the YoloCam S3 from a newer iPad through the USB-C port. So you could use it as a 4K camera and stream from an iPad. I have a client right now I'm going to be working with in Africa, known him for years. He's been streaming from his iPad, and so I'm going to talk to him about cameras that he can plug in directly to his iPad and get more options, like the YoloCam S3. It doesn't have software for the iPad yet, so I may not recommend that camera, but there are cameras that you can use, and you can now use the hub with the Apple iPad Pros with the USB-C ports. I think a couple generations back, you can now use a hub, and I've tested it and have had a webcam, 2 webcams coming in, plus a HDMI camera like my Canon 5D Mark III. One of the things I did when I was down with my broken ankle. So, okay, and then you have define the zoom range at 1x to 4x. So they made a few changes. We'll look at that. Define the zoom range, shortcut key enhancements, support for combo keys, elevated permissions, and custom small keyboard. Originally, you couldn't like do Control Alt. So you had to use your number pad. So now you could assign dual keys to the keypad. So if you wanted to have a zoom in setting, you could use your keyboard. Now I haven't tested it yet, so we'll play with that tonight because I do have the S3 ready to go, and I have 4 zoom settings set, and we can go in and see if we can program a key. So we are running out of time, but we are going to be off the air tonight by 6 o'clock, I promise. So, okay, and then bug fixes, NCM, network protocol, and network mode switching. That was a bug fix or added, I guess. Haven't played with that yet. Bug fixes are fix an abnormal connection and communication issue between the app and the camera. Fix the issue where color grading adjustments only applied when you hovered with your mouse. That's something I told them I didn't like, and they fixed that. I tested the beta, and I really like the feature. So if you make a color correction, you can see it. You don't have to hover your mouse like you used to. And then fix the AE, auto exposure jumping issue. So there was an issue with auto exposure jumping, and I actually demoed how to use a white card and a gray card to set the white balance, and now you have this auto exposure fix. So that's really cool. So those are the changes. So now let's open up the software and fire up camera. And let's change back to me and my laptop. So I'm on here twice. So let's just go to that output, my laptop, because you guys can see me. There's going to be a little lip delay. I apologize for that. But who knows, maybe my lips are on. So again, if you go down to settings right here, if you want to have the camera stay on all the time, now you would slide this over. But by default, you can see the camera turns off in 60 seconds after you unplug it. And I apologize, this camera moved just a little bit. I had it set right there. So, okay. So that's in the settings menu. This is also where you can change those key settings. So you can see I have different zoom settings. Let's go ahead and enable my keyboard on my laptop. And then we'll try number pad 2. Didn't move. Sometimes when I'm live, oh, there it went. Number pad 3. I'd already be there. Number pad 4. Yeah. And then number pad 1. So again, you can use the number pad, but what if you wanted to do something different? Let's try now Control 9. So now I have Control 9 for that first position. So let's hit number 4 on my pad. And now I'm going to hit Control 9 on my keyboard. And so now they've given you the ability to change the key settings that you're using to make these changes. So I could do, let's change this to Control 1. And we'll change this to Control 2. And we'll change this to Control 3. And we'll change this to Control 4. And then I'll click out of it. And now I'm going to hit Control 4. Zooms all the way in. Control 2. That's my normal setting. And Control 1 is 100% of the 4K sensor. And again, you're seeing a 1080p shot regardless if I'm zoomed all the way in and I'm here. So this is zoomed all the way in. You're still seeing a 1080p shot because the sensor is 4K. And again, here's all the way out, and you're still seeing a 1080p shot because my ATEM is sending out a 1080p shot. So that is the new ability to change those settings inside this. So we'll click on the video settings right here. You can see you can go 9:16 and it will flip. And then you need to turn the camera over to portrait, which I'm not going to do. But you can see the camera just flips by doing that. You can change the frame rate. You've got the image settings. So right now I have it on Canon colors, but they've added Canon colors and Sony. So this is what a Sony color science looks like, I guess, if you're using a Canon camera. So I should be bringing a Sony signal in if I use this preset. So let me go back to the warm Canon colors. And did it go back? It has not. Go back. Maybe it is Canon. And then now, again, you don't have to log in to use the save settings. So I could go up here and save this look. So I could zoom in and save this and call it Live 1 and confirm and save it. And now what I could do is I can hit Control 4 and zoom all the way in. I can change to Sony colors. And then I can then go to my settings and I can reinstall Live 1. And now I'm back in Canon colors and I'm full screen. And then with a Control 2, I can zoom into the matching of my cameras in the studio. So this is the YoloCam S3 versus my regular camera in my studio. So you can compare those two shots. Again, I do not have the YoloCam S3 plugged into my ATEM. There's no way to bring it into the ATEM. I can bring it on full screen, but I'm demoing the software tonight, so I'm not going to bring it on full screen. But you can see the difference between my regular EOS R compared to the S3, and it's very good quality video. And these are all presets I've done in the past. Let's get that software back up again. So let's go full screen. So there's full screen. I'll give you that A-B comparison again. This is my EOS R, and this is the S3. Again, it's a lot warmer. I could change the colors. I could go here to the colors. It's going to take a snapshot of me. So I'll go me and my laptop. So I'm back on the camera. So now I could color correct, go into professional mode, confirm, and then I could change the color. So let's say I want to change my skin tone. I can click on my skin tone, and then I can move this around and change it. I can go back to where I had it. I can change the hue of that color, saturation, lower the saturation, and then I can reset it. So I have the original grid and the preset grid. Here's the original grid. Here's the preset grid. So I can go back and mess with those grids. I can create a draft on the bottom here, draft 1, draft 2, and I can continue. So let's say I wanted to save a draft. I can click on it and hit confirm. And then I could make a color change. Let's change the oranges. Let's crank those up. Then I could hit a draft, confirm, and now I could go draft 1 and confirm it, or I could go to draft 2 and confirm it. So there's lots of intuitive control in here. Like you can see, so that is the color settings. The Sony got sharpness, contrast, saturation, DR, which is only manual exposure supported. So you got to go into manual exposure to get this slider. So we're going to close this window. Here's the zoom features. So if you do want to set those hotkeys, you can get to them right there. So again, back to the main page. In the zoom settings, I can zoom in with the bar, or I can create these 4 different locations and set whatever key I want to. Exposure I have right here. It's on manual. I can do auto exposure. I can unlock it or lock it once I like the exposure. Unlock it. I could raise or lower the exposure right here on the EV meter. Or I can go to manual and then change the ISO, which is at 500. Let's say I want a little darker look. It makes me pretty orange. So I like it at 400 and 1/60th of a second for right now. That's great. So we'll close that, go back to auto for right now and move around. And then I could lock it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it open. And then the last folder here is white balance. And again, I can do auto white balance, which is on right now, or I could do a manual white balance and adjust it down here. I can adjust it up here, or I could get out a white balance card, which I put away in a drawer, so it's not out today. And I could use the white balance card, zoom into it so it fills the screen, and then I can automatically do that white balance and record it. And I would do that right here. I would hit auto white balance, unlock it. I would use the card, get it zoomed in, and then I would hit lock. And again, you could use a white card, which will give you more realistic skin tones, or you could use a gray card, will give you warmer skin tones. So let's go back to auto, and let's go ahead and lock it for now. And then you have, again, the color wheel settings. And then you have the save settings. And this is the standard look that's always there. And these can be deleted or saved. So again, lots of new features in the software. So make sure you download it. Make sure you check the firmware of your S3, and you can also run that camera through the paces. So again, I just wanted to show you guys that there is a new software update for the S3 by YoloLive, the YoloCam. Again, thank you to YoloCam for sending that camera out to me for me to test, as well as the YoloBox Extreme. I can't think of something more fun than having a new switcher in my studio for me to get to play with. Okay, let's make sure we are caught up in the chat here. Let's see. The nice Matrix device would be good for consulting. Yeah, I've been looking at Matrixes. They're very expensive. Blackmagic Design sells one. So yeah, and I'm going to be doing some more thinking. I don't want to spend $2,000 on a Matrix, especially one with SDI in and SDI out. I have to contemplate 4K. So I may want something that receives 4K and sends out 4K for two of my cameras, so that I can use my EOS Rs for streaming 4K from the YoloBox Extreme. And if I end up eventually getting a YoloBox Extreme for training purposes, we'll see. This one I have to send back. I will then need to be able to bring 4K in. So I'm contemplating that in my studio. I have some clients that also like to stream from their laptop. So using a cam link and having it switchable, so I could have my cam link by Elgato, which will do 4K streaming. It's an HDMI input, and it is a USB-A 3.0 input, and this is an adapter from A to C. So this will stream 4K, and I actually use this for my original streams using my Canon 5D Mark III that I'm using right now. Now, I was only streaming at 1080p, but I did do a video here on my channel of me streaming 4K from this device, and I did it live right here in my live playlist, so you can check that out. So again, a Matrix would be a great tool. I haven't decided exactly which way I'm going to go. I have been thinking about this, though. Let's just talk about it real quick. Got a few minutes left. I thought about having a 5-input device that would just have, let's see, 1 input and 5 outputs, or maybe 1 input and 8 outputs. So I would need one of those splitters for every single input in my studio. What that means is that I could come out of my main camera, which I'm on right now, and I could then split it out to different devices. I could go to up to, if it was 1 in and 8 out, I could go to 8 locations. Or I could go 1 in and 5 out. So I could go to an ATEM Mini, I could go to an Extreme, I could go to my Rodecaster Video, I could go to the YOLO Extreme, and I could go to a Cam Link to a laptop, and I would have a separate laptop in the studio to demo that for clients. But then I got to bring some of those devices in to my stream as well. So I'm really processing how I can do that. I really don't want to be pushing a bunch of buttons. I want to save time. So the coolest thing for me would be to see if I could just send every camera to every device. But think about how many cables that would be. So I have a lot to think and figure out. So again, thanks guys for being live with me. Nathan, it's great to have you tonight. Yolo sent you an Extreme. That's awesome. A lot of feature demonstration I'd love to see. Yeah, and I am going to be demoing those features over the next couple months. That's how long they said I could keep it. Please do a series of features, deep dives. I'm going to consider it. I still have to finish my Rodecaster Video deep dive, but that's what I do want on my channel. I just have to set aside the time to do a deep dive on the Rodecaster video, and I have to do a deep dive if I decide to do it on the Extreme by YoloBox or YoloLive. I'm actually sold on this for the image quality. Yeah, so the S3, again, it's got some pretty good, serious image quality. And again, I don't have a way right now to bring it in to my stream. What I will do right now, though, is let me close the software. Let's see. Let me go to my save settings. Let's click on Tuesday Live. I think is what I set it up earlier. Let me look at it here real quick. Enable it. There it is. That looks good. Okay, so let's close that. I'm going to change cameras just while I set this up. I will show you guys me setting it up, and then we got to get out of here in just a few minutes. I run OBS in normal mode. Here we go. Slide the camera software off to the side. Me and my laptop. I'm in OBS. Let's just use the Insta360 link, and we're going to steal it here real quick. Here's my S3 camera. Let's see if I can get that to come up in the live in here tonight. Okay, maybe I'm already using it. Let's change this back to Insta360. Yeah, let's see. So let's see if it goes here. Yeah, it does my laptop camera. This is the S3. I might have to close the software, but if I'm going to do that, then I've got to go into the settings. It is not coming up. Let me go into the settings. We'll enable this box so it doesn't shut off. Okay, so I've closed the software. Let's see if I can deactivate it and activate it. Yeah, I'm not getting the S3 to come on the air. I can try rebooting OBS. The logo. You reboot OBS and see if it'll come up. And if I can't get it to come up, then we're gonna bail on showing you at full screen. Giving OBS a second to open back up here. See if I can get the S3 to come live. There it is. So let's project full size. Blackmagic Design HDMI. Okay, so here is an A/B comparison. What channel am I in? Full screen is laptop. So this is the S3 right here. Picture quality, full screen. Again, I can change the color settings, but this is just an example of what it looks like full screen. Back to my EOS R and back to the YoloCam S3, and I'm full screening projecting from my laptop, so I can't change the color settings right now. But I'm going to close and go back into OBS. But that's an example of that device full screen. So I really like it. Just keep in mind that it does not have an HDMI out. So if you just want a webcam And if you want to use something like OBS to bring it on the air, projecting it full screen, you can do that as long as you have your laptop or your PC plugged into your ATEM or your YoloBox or your Rodecaster video. Then you can go into OBS right here. This is the program out. You just take your mouse over the program out, right click, and then you can say open anywhere here. So I can open to my BenQ monitor full screen. I can open to my Blackmagic Design full screen, or my Elgato prompter, which I'm looking at the chat in so I can read the chat and look at you at the same time. But I am duplicating my laptop with my ATEM. So if I go full screen, it takes over my laptop and then it goes full screen on my ATEM. That's how I was able to show that to you. So OBS is a great tool to project into a input, a webcam, and that's how I do my Skycams. They're running in my PC the same way I put chat on the air, but now I have the YoloCam plugged in my laptop so I could show you guys the software. And again, there's a new software and a new firmware update. So there is a link in the description. If you want to get an S3 and update yours, then you can use the link in the description below. There's also an Amazon associate link that supports the channel if you use it in the description as well. Okay, next week, as I told you, we're going to have a cameo from Shannon. It's going to be pre-recorded, but we're going to record it the day before because she works all day Tuesday to get the rest of the week off for Christmas. So Shannon's going to be busy. Also, we are going to be able to see Ratso. I'm hoping that Dominic will be on the live stream. That's my grandson. We're going to talk about two new figures that we got, and we're going to actually open the box, I think, next Tuesday, or we will show them to you next Tuesday. It just depends if he wants to get together this weekend and work on his YouTube channel. But if he doesn't, then we'll unbox the big box and we'll show you the boxes for two new 1/6 scale figures that I have for the studio, and very similar to the Batman that I show you guys in the live stream. So we'll turn chat off the air and we will go to camera 2. Close this. Let's find Batman, and I will just bring chat back on the air. So that is a 1/6 scale figure there as well. That is a Hot Toys Batman figure and the bat signal, even though the LED light actually burnt out. But that is my 1/6 scale Batman. Dominic and I went together for these. We are building his channel together. And so that is exciting to have him on the show next week as well. So again, I'll give you an update on the YoloBox next week, what I've learned Extreme after I've had a week to play with it. Who knows? I might even, you never know, go live from it. We're going to have Shannon in the live stream. Her and I are going to talk about some cool things that you guys will be interested in. You're also going to see hers and my Christmas present, and you're going to see the new figures that Dominic and I have added to Bennett's Collectibles, which is a new YouTube channel that he and I are going to be launching probably this summer after he starts learning how to edit. So that will be a lot of fun. Okay, well, I think we've covered all the chats. I think we have talked about the YoloBox Extreme. Again, we have talked about the YoloCam S3 and the firmware software. You've seen that camera. You've seen some of the changes in the software, even though I didn't cover all of them. You can experience that once you get a S3 for yourself. Again, it will work with the Rodecaster video because it's uncompressed video. And it'll also work with the YoloBox Extreme. It should work perfectly fine. In fact, I can plug it in right now to test it before we go. So let me pull it over here to the YoloBox and plug it into USB 2. and we'll let it find itself and fire it up. Add a source, USB 2, and let that boot up and see if it finds it, and it sure did. We'll show you guys the sky camera on that. Well, it's still looking for it. Let's wait and see. So it is searching for the YoloCam S3 right there. Hasn't found it yet. And it's currently not showing my other camera. I'm going to unplug it. Let's plug the S3 into slot A. This is one thing I wanted to do tonight before we get off the air. And it's still looking for it. And so far, it is not seeing it. I can change cables real quick. Let me grab the camera. Let me change to the cable that came from YoloLive. Now I'm using the YoloLive cable. Fade the black button, sorry. So trying to find it. Booting up. Got the green light, but I'm still not getting a picture from the YoloCam S3. So it may not be compatible with this device. So keep that in mind. I will do some more testing, and then I will get back to everybody and let you guys know if it's working or not. So enough on that microphone. Let's go back to the SM7B. Thank you so much for joining me in the live stream tonight. Thank you so much for your great comments and for supporting the channel. Let's see right here. Saw a couple chats pop in. The whole Bennett family next week. Cool. Yeah, so not the whole family. It's a large family, but I hope you guys will join me. We'll be live again at 4 o'clock, and I have some exciting things for that before Christmas stream next Tuesday. So 9 days till Christmas. So keep that in mind, but it is not 9 days till we'll be live again. It is 7 days until we're going to be live again. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate the nice comments. Again, thank you guys for using the links in the description. Thank you for your joining me live from all around the world. And those of you that are watching this video after it was live, thank you as well. Please put your comments in the description. And if you have any questions, I will do my best to answer those. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream. I'm sorry it was totally focused on YoloLive, but I have a couple devices here in the studio now that I've been testing out, and it'll be interesting to see if I can get the YoloCam S3 to work with a YoloCam Extreme or YoloBox Extreme. That you would think would work perfectly fine. So we'll do some testing on that device tomorrow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Again, don't forget, we'll be doing a Zoom town hall next year in the beginning part of 2026, and we should have some really good things to talk about between now and then. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Productions. I'm going to say my goodbye and roll some nice Christmas music as we roll out tonight. Blessings on you and happy holidays. I hope to see you between now and the new year, but if not, happy new year as well. Good night.
I see snow begin to fall, I wish that it could be a merry little Christmas for one and all. And when I hear choirs on the street, so full of Christmas cheer, I pray this is the start of all our dreams. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Bells, they will be ringing, every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells, they will be ringing, and every heart just singing.